We are back with you from Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines on CRMLiveSports.com and at CRM Live Sports as we continue coverage of the 2022 Boys State Basketball Tournament Class 4A. Our second game of the day. Mississippi Valley Conference foes going at it for the third meeting this year, as it'll be the Cedar Rapids Prairie Hawks taking on the Cedar Falls Tigers. Great to have you aboard. Scott Unash courtside alongside, former state winning coach and my favorite, former Washington Warrior.
Hey, thank you. Good to be here, Scott.
Joining me again. Kennedy won earlier on today. The Cougars defeating Waukee Northwest by a score of 61-56. Kennedy's going to take on a very good Ames Little Cyclone team that they played very early in the season. That will be in a 4A semifinal coming up at 5:45, I believe, on Thursday. We'll have it for you right here. And we'll see what the Prairie Hawks can do in the third meeting, the rubber match between Prairie and Cedar Falls. They met the first go-around. That was at Prairie, Hawks winning 64-56. And then Cedar Falls turned the tables, a one-point win in Cedar Falls, 49-48. So these two teams know each other quite a bit. Cedar Falls, no stranger to Wells Fargo Arena, as the Tigers have made a home here, including back-to-back state championships during the A.J. Green, Jack Campbell era. For Cedar Rapids Prairie, though, Hawks are making their first appearance since Denny Thiessen and Phil Dunn won a state championship back in 1998. So it's been a while since the Hawks have been to Des Moines.
It has. You would have thought maybe the Keegan and Chris Murray teams would have found a way to get down here, but it's difficult to do. And this group, with Coach Rickardson and then the addition of Coach Wagemeister, showed a lot of grittiness and toughness this year. And it's a big part of the reason why they're in this position today.
Yeah, Prairie getting here with wins over Dubuque Senior and Dubuque Hempstead on their trip to Des Moines and the state tournament. Coming your way, the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths pregame show here this afternoon from Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines as both teams out on the court going through their warm-ups before this battle. And you've got a Prairie team that, of course, had the injury at the end of the year to Elijah Ward, missed some time. He is back, played a little bit in the sub-state final, and he's a little bit healthier. The hand is getting better, and also getting back into game shape. That's one of the bigger things. The inactivity, and you kind of just lose a step there.
Yep, you gotta build back up to it gradually, and I think the coaching staff has been smart with him, taking it a little bit slower, even though he was fully cleared. And hopefully we get to see a little bit more of Eli Ward today here in this battle against Cedar Falls. And
it certainly is going to be needed as far as the Hawks are concerned. And when you talk about Cedar Falls, they're big, but they can shoot threes. When they went back-to-back, you had A.J. Green shooting threes, and then you had Corbin inside, you had Jack Campbell inside. Logan Wolf doing everything there. This is more of a Cedar Falls at the threes, though, with especially with Dallas Bear, who can just absolutely big perimeter. 56 made threes. He's at 6'8". He can shoot over people out there. They do have Cade Corbett. Of course, his brother Chase at UNI and redshirting this year. He's only a sophomore. He's 6'7". And then, of course, it all starts, though, with Trey Campbell.
It does. He's a special performer, can score it at all three levels, and is a terrific defensive player. As you mentioned off the air, Scott, we've been treated to seeing Kenzie Reed, Taman Lipsey, and now Trey Campbell today. It's Point Guard University here in Des Moines at the state tournament.
It really is, and this one's going to UNI to play for Ben Jacobson and the Panthers. Speaking of Ben Jacobson, about 6 rebounds a game for the Hawks, but then he's got to get some help. And, of course, the help coming from the guards. Jake Walter, who another pretty darn good point guard, although he's playing a little more off guard this year with Jack Wagemaster coming in there. And then, of course, they're going to bring Elijah Ward in, the way it sounds, off the bench. Mikkel Taylor will come in off the bench as well. But in order to get Gabe going on the inside, Prairie needs to hit some shots in the perimeter.
They absolutely do, and Walter is the primary guy that has the capability of doing that. Wagemeister has shown the ability to knock down some shots as well. And Everett Cook, at certain times has been able to do that as well. So Rickardson, about this game beforehand, it's going to be a typical Prairie approach. They want to try to play through Burkle as much as possible, have him either in there scoring it or getting double for other players.
Deontay Fliss has moved into the starting lineup along with Everett Cook and has been a big part of Prairie getting down here to the state tournament. Hawks had a little bit of a downturn. They lost 3 out of 5 about 3 weeks before the end of the season, but they've gotten things righted and the ship together again. But it's a Prairie team, like I said, 24 years in the making to get back to the state tournament, and they'd like to have a little bit of a run. 17-6 their record. They are seeded number 7. And, of course, these two teams were in the same division of the Mississippi Valley Conference. Prairie finished 4th, and Cedar Falls was the champion of the Mississippi division of the Mississippi Valley Conference. Coming away from Des Moines here on the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths pregame show. We'll take a short break, come back, and have more pregame as Prairie gets ready to tangle with Cedar Falls. Back with more after this from Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines on CRM Live Sports and CRMLiveSports.com.
Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths, look so touch and see. Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths, your home never looks so beautiful.
Ben Ritter Sportswear in Cedar Rapids is your complete apparel and headwear provider. Ben Ritter is your one-stop store for screen print and embroidery for polos, t-shirts, hats, and more for any age from newborn to adults. Need screen printing or embroidery for your company or a special event? Ben Ritter is the clubs, organizations, and businesses from startup to finish to provide the look that you need with exceptional turnaround time. Ben Ritter is also the local apparel supplier for the Cedar Rapids Colonels and Rutter Sportswear, 817 2nd Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. Call them at 364-3479 and visit them online at benritter.com. No matter where you are in life, Hills Bank is here to help you succeed. Whether you're buying your first house, saving for your child's future, or preparing for retirement, you can count on the people at Hills Bank for the support you need to reach your goals. It's easy to connect with a banker over the phone or on hillsbank.com because we believe banking is better through human connection. Hills Bank is an equal housing lender and FDIC member.
Back with you at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. The Art of Noise on a road trip.
That's right. The capital city is being treated to one of the best pep bands in all of the Mississippi Valley Conference today.
It's the best band in the land as far as pep bands are concerned.
They are elite.
They are, and they'll get things hopping here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines as Cedar Falls and Prairie get set to tangle here this afternoon. The Prairie Hawks, they'll come off the bench with at least 5 players. We mentioned Elijah Ward's going to come off the bench. The All-State running back, Mikkel Taylor, will step in there. We're also going to see, of course, Braden Dirksen coming off the bench. Prairie can go with Moses each. They can throw 15 fouls at anybody at Cedar Falls if they elect to do so.
Absolutely, and they're definitely probably the more physical team with Burkle and guys like Fliss and Dirksen, so maybe they can wear down Bear and also Corbott on the inside. I think they had success in the previous 2 meetings on the inside.
Yeah, and it kind of a low-scoring affair, especially that second matchup between the two teams. And it's a Cedar Falls team that will get it up and down the court a little bit, but Prairie, I don't think, wants to really run with the Tigers.
No, they don't. I think they'd like to have a lower scoring game, maybe a game in the 40s, 50s at tops, and controlled tempo and be real deliberate on the offensive end if they don't get something real easy in transition and work through Burkle and make sure he gets a touch or 2 every possession down.
Been a great year for Prairie basketball. Jeff Johnson had a really nice article about the Goose Lake connection with Coach Rickardson and Doug Wagamaster. And, of course, those two have known each other a long time, going back to their high school days. And Wag's coming on board as an assistant coach with his son. Big help, especially on the defensive end for Prairie.
Definitely. I think they played with noticeably more toughness and togetherness on that end. Wag's always kind of hung his hat on that as a head coach. So his fingerprints are all over this team. And a credit to Jeremy Rickardson for, having the ability to allow somebody like that to come in and have the influence that he's had.
Yeah, and he said, you know, I had to think long and hard about it because, you know, Doug's used to being a head coach out there. He's won national championships before at Kirkwood. Heads up. Incoming. You didn't shoot it, so, you know.
First pass of my life.
I thought you would one-hand that one up, but, you know. But, you know, they get along well. Sometimes they have to say, hey, you know, this is going to be my thing, and, you know, you take the next one. So it's a give-and-take situation for the Prairie coaching staff.
But they, like you said, bottom line, they're really good friends, and they have tremendous respect for each other as basketball coaches.
Yes, and good to see the one and only Steve Dozier here back to our left, taking pictures here. One of the administrators at Cedar Rapids Prairie in the state of Iowa for Cedar Falls.
Yeah, I've been a good friend of Ryan's, you know, from my days at Xavier, and have followed him and admired him and how he approaches his craft. He's been mentored by Tom Bardell, amongst others, Coach Jerry Slikas, the late Jerry Slikas, who was a great coach up there. And then he spent a lot of time around the UNI program, obviously, with the proximity of the school to the McLeod Center.
And learned a lot up there. All right, we're going to get ready to announce the non-starters and the starting lineups here for you at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines as we get closer and closer to the tip-off between the Prairie Hawks and the Cedar Falls Tigers. Let's go ahead and set our starting lineups. They're brought to you by Dan Hillers, the home loan expert. Thanks to Dan. Appreciate all he's done for us this year. Check him out online at danhillersthehomeloanexpert.com. First of all, for the Hawks of Prairie, the visitors unrated. They are the 7th seed, finishing 4th in the Mississippi division of the MVC. They come in with a record of 17-6 on the season. They'll go with Everett Cook at a forward. Cook, a 6'1 senior, really good defender. It'll be interesting to see who they will throw him on today. Cook averaging 2.3 points and 2 rebounds per game. Football quarterback Deontay Fliss, 6'1 and a senior, 5.5 points, 4.5 rebounds a game. Just a tough, steadying influence for the Hawks. At center, the Iowa State football signee, Gabe Burkle, 6'7 and a senior, 14.7 points and just under 6 rebounds per game, shooting 58% from the field. And a terrific backcourt, Jack Wagamaster, 8 rebounds, couple of assists and a steal a game, 34 made threes on the year, shooting 40%. And the 3-year starter, Jake Walter, 5'11 and a senior. Walter averaging 13.2 points and 3 boards per game. Head coach for Cedar Rapids Prairie is Jeremy Rickardson. His career record 93 and 76. For the Cedar Falls Tigers, 20-2 on the year. They are rated 4th in the AP poll, seeded number 2 in the 4A state tournament. Got here by wins over Marshalltown, and then that really good sub-state final, the 3-point win against West Des Moines Valley. For the Tigers, Aaron Brosted a forward, 6'2 and a senior, 5.4 points, couple boards a game, can step back and shoot the threes for CF. This guy can especially, Dallas Bear, number 10, 6'8 and a junior. He's going to be a Division I player by the time it's all said and done. 14.4 points, 6 boards a game, 56 threes on the season, and shoots 84% from the free throw line. The center is Cade Corbett, 6'7 and a sophomore, averaging just under 7 points and just over 6 rebounds per game. And the guards at the point, headed to UNI next year, is Trey Campbell, 6'4 senior, 24 points, 6 rebounds a game, just over 4 assists and 2 steals a contest. And Derek Woods at 3.8 points per ball game. Head coach for Cedar Falls is Ryan Schultz. So those are your lineups. Prairie in their road black, orange numbers, orange letters trimmed in white with Prairie across the front. And Cedar Falls in the home whites with the black numbers and the red Tigers across the front trim as we get ready to tip this one off. We'll do so when we come back to Des Moines after this on CRM Live Sports.
Hi, I'm Dan Hillers, the home loan expert. One of the most popular loans that we are doing right now is the cash out refinance. Think about it. Your home's value is at an all-time high. Interest rates are near all-time lows. You can use that equity to pay off your credit cards, to do home remodels. See how I can help you today at hillershomeloans.com.
And again, our starting lineups brought to you by Dan Hillers, the home loan experts. As our officials this afternoon are Chad Shellmeyer, Travis Carroll, and Kurt Spomer. So, well, this should be interesting.
It really should. As I mentioned, I think it's going to be critical for Prairie to establish that paint presence with Gabe Burkle early and play through him to get opportunities for the other guys to get good looks. And then on the defensive end, Trey Campbell has shown that he can beat teams by himself. So they've got to find a way to slow him down, make him earn every basket, kind of like Kennedy did in the first game against Sanford today, making him earn and work for everything.
So many great Prairie teams that have not been here.
Yeah.
Chris and Keegan Murray come to mind. There have been so many of them. And first time in 24 years, good to see the black and orange back out there.
For sure.
Underway. Cedar Falls wins the opening tip. Prairie will pick them up man-to-man as the Tigers will go to the basket right in front of us to the right. Woods being left open. Prairie in the man, as we mentioned. Woods, Wagamaster playing off of him. They double Campbell up top. Campbell goes crossover. Jump stop, lost it. Picked up by Bear. Little jab step, puts it on the floor and had it stripped. It's loose, and Fliss comes away with it for Prairie. 2-on-2 break. Fliss all the way down. Lays it up and in.
Beautiful finish and take by Deontay Fliss. Hawks coming out with a great defensive possession the first possession.
Anything Fliss can give them offensively along with Cook is a plus for Prairie. Here is Bear. They really are taking a look at him outside. Brose gives it up top. Corbett. They hand it right back as the Tigers work the weave. Bear flips it inside. Cook with the tip away out of bounds.
Prairie playing with great physicality early. They're going to have to be that way, as I've alluded to.
Woods to inbound, and he'll lob it to Corbett. On the handoff, here's Campbell. Let's see if he goes one-on-one. Backs his way in, spins, got doubled, took it up against the double, forced it up, no, rebounded by Jake Walter. And here come the Prairie Hawks in the open court, up 2-0. And Cedar Falls will pick them up in the man-to-man. Fliss cross court, Jake Walter puts it on the floor, off the clear out, and they're going to hand check on Woods. That's going to be a tough matchup for Cedar Falls.
It definitely is. Jake Walter's got the quickness advantage there. Did a nice job taking him hard right, driving baseline, and drew the foul.
First on Woods, first on CF. And it will be Prairie to inbound. And now Prairie will set it up. Need a good game from Jack today if you're Prairie.
Definitely do.
Walter to Cook. They'll bounce it inside. Nice head fake. Up and no, but Burkle is fouled. Points to the official.
He's a load down there, and
Well, this is the last week that Gabe Burkle play basketball as the free throw is up and good. And you remember coming up through the middle schools into his early years, he was going to be a basketball guy.
Mm-hmm. Football guys see athletes with that kind of size, though, and move that way, and it translates well to the gridiron.
And you're a tight end.
Yep.
Mark Bliss did a great job with a lot of these guys on the court here, including Jake Walter, who's going to play football. He was also a basketball guy. Now he's going to play football at Upper Iowa.
Yep.
Here's Campbell up top, going to go one-on-one against Cook. Got Fliss in the air, over to Bear. Fake. Right back it goes to Campbell. Prairie closing out beautifully here early.
They really are.
Brose took it inside, tipped out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Tigers.
Making multiple efforts on the defensive end. That's what it takes to be strong and be very formidable on that end of the court. Prairie with great energy here early on the defensive end.
Tigers looking. Going to have to get it in, and they barely beat the 5-second count. Corbett on the handoff to Bear. He's got endless range out there. Brose to jab step. He'll drive on Walter, takes him free throw line. Now to Campbell. Over to Corbett, mid-range jumper, and that's an air ball. Campbell saved it into Fliss.
See if the
Walter, he'll dump it inside. Nice catch, Burkle, but he had it blocked by Bear coming over to help.
That's what Cedar Falls is going to have to do. They're going to have Bear help out Looked to double on Burkle late.
Cook took it away nearly from Campbell, got it back to Woods. As Prairie harassing all over the place, and there is a foul on Fliss. Little too much hand check there.
Gave him a good, firm, hard hand check to start things out, kind of set the tone. You always play as physical as the Zebras will allow, as a general rule.
Prairie will bring in Reed Burkle, younger brother of Gabe.
Mikal Taylor.
And Dirksen will come in. Mikal Taylor, the 6-foot junior. Reed Burkle, 6'5" sophomore. Braden Dirksen, 6'4" junior in for the Hawks. Always good to get guys in off the bench early.
Yep, get their feet wet, take the jitters out.
And back to Campbell. He'll pull from 17 and got it.
Smooth looking jumper there from Campbell. Got the matchup they wanted out of the switch, had Dirksen on him.
Oh, they did give him a 3.
Wow.
I thought he had a foot on the line.
Yeah, I did too.
Maybe they'll check that later. I'm going to keep that down as a 2 for now. Walter on the drive, had a shot blocked. Good defense by Corbett. Got the putback, though. No good. Third effort, Dirksen. That's also blocked. And it comes down to Woods.
Yeah, they corrected it. It's 2.
Yeah. 4-2. Campbell thought about the 3 that time. Tigers with the basketball, and there's a little hand check out front on Reed Burkle. They're getting in Bear shorts right here early.
Yeah, they are. Making him put it on the floor. Taking him out of his comfort zone, not allowing him to catch and shoot.
First foul on Reed Burkle, as it'll be immediate timeout. 4:33 to play here in the opening quarter. Prairie Hawks 4 and Cedar Falls 2. Back after this here on CRM Live Sports.
Cedar Rapids Millwork, providing outstanding service to Eastern Iowa for over 50 years. Quality products, including windows, doors, moldings, hardware, stair parts, specialties, and cabinets. Locally owned and operated, Cedar Rapids Millwork has in-house production, providing innovative quality services for contractors and their customers of the corridor. Cedar Rapids Millwork, 1950 Progress Drive in Hiawatha, and online at cedarrapidsmillwork.com. Spinal Corrective Center, 3800 River Ridge Drive, Pitts. Dr. Gene Kretzinger and Dr. Janet Kuehl deliver state-of-the-art chiropractic care for the entire family. If you want to reach optimum health and peak performance levels, or are suffering from injury, pain, and other health problems, the chiropractic care they provide can give you relief and stability. Serving our area athletes for over 50 years and keeping athletes of all ages functioning at their highest performance for a winning game. Spinal Corrective Center, online at spinalcc.com.
And our first half of action is brought to you by Spinal Corrective Center. River Ridge Drive Northeast in Cedar Rapids. Check them out online at spinalcc.com. Thank you to Dr. Kretzinger and Janet Kuehl, a proud Prairie alum.
Hey, that's pretty special.
I will not say what year. And probably listening in today at the office. 4-2 lead. Prairie's defense has been the story early.
It really has. They've set the tone with their physical play on that end, taking Cedar Falls out of their sets. As you mentioned, it's on the scouting report. Crowd Bear, chase him off the three-point line. They're doing a great job of that early. He hasn't even attempted one.
With the ball as we return from the media timeout, as Prairie will stay in the man-to-man. And here's Elijah Ward in for the first time here at the state tournament. Coming off that injured hand. And doesn't even have it, I don't think, even wrapped up right now. Bear, a tough follow-away from the heart lane, no good. Campbell put back, no. Corbett got it, shovels it out to Bear for 3, and he hits.
That was a smart play by Corbett. Could have shot it himself, but saw that Bear was unintended out by the arc. The junior splashes it home.
And we are tied at 4. I thought that was a 3.
Yeah, I did too.
So now it says 4-4, but I think it should be 5-4. Here's Mikal Taylor right of the circle. Ward gives it up to Wagamaster. Circles right with it.
Hawks into their ball screen continuity here.
And they'll pick and roll out of it. Ward for 3. Front iron, no. But Mikal Taylor got the rebound. Hooks it to Burkle. And Prairie will get a fresh set at it here as we're over halfway home in quarter number 1. Feet inside, tipped out of bounds by Corbett and Bear as Jake Walter will come back in for the Prairie Hawks. Yeah, they're going to get that taken care of right now.
Yeah, exactly, Scott. That was definitely a 3.
Yeah, that wasn't even close.
No. Way beyond the arc, I thought.
So it is a 3, and they will make it 5-4. And it'll be Prairie ball inbounds. Get it to Reed. Burkle's back in there. Nice spin move. Follow away off the glass.
Beautiful
Good.
move by Reed Burkle. They can get some offense out of him. That'd be a huge bonus as well for the Hawks.
And don't forget about Reed Burkle, because he was a starter for the first 2/3 of the season.
He's capable. He's going to be one of the guys for the future for the Hawks for sure.
Tigers with the basketball. Anthony Galvin into the ball game, and now we got a foul on Prairie. I mean, the third Hawk foul, and it's going to be number 2 on Reed Burkle. I mentioned Prairie's got a lot of fouls to throw out there,
do.
though.
They've got a lot to give.
Here's,
Definitely the deeper team.
Yeah, here's Fliss into the lineup. Anthony Galvin into the ball game, as we mentioned, for Cedar Falls. He's got it in the near side corner. He's another good three-point shooter. 3 to play in the first. Campbell standing dribble, gave it up. Hook pass, cross court. Galvin with a high catch. DeBrost. He'll spin down the lane. Good help by Wagamaster. And the Tigers being patient here.
Yep, taking their time. Prairie not giving them any open looks. Great D by the Hawks.
Now on the baseline drive. Hook pass, cross court. Extra one over to Bear on the fake. Bear on the drive and kick. Brost for 3. In and out. Rebounded by Eli Ward.
Great defensive possession again by the Prairie Hawks. They are locked in.
6-5 lead for the Hawks. Was Justin Ward on that 98 team?
He was not. He was a little older.
Okay.
I think he was on...
early 2000s?
Yeah, or no, mid-90s.
Oh, mid-90s. Okay, other side of it. All right, his son Eli out there, and he's got the ball in the corner. Nice spin move by Ward. He'll go in and lay it up and in.
Silky smooth spin move back baseline for the finish.
8-5, first 2 for Elijah Ward. Under 2 to play here in the game's first quarter. Tigers getting ready to bring 3 fresh bodies in. Corbett on the hand back to Campbell behind the screen. Ooh, he banked home the 3.
Cooley holds up the 3 sign, even though I don't think he meant to bank it.
Yeah, he got a little bit of a surprise look on his face for that one. 8-8, Ward, Walter, Wagamaster, Fliss, and Gabe Burkle back in there. Jack on the drive, pull up 10-footer, in and out, back in again.
Really nice shot by Wagamaster.
10-8, first 2 for the junior, Jack Wagamaster. And Tigers, see if they run some clock here. Minute 10, Barrett coming off the screen, turns the corner, against a double. Contact play on, and here comes Prairie, and the pass intercepted. Boy, Campbell timed that beautifully, that wing pass.
He's got closing speed. He closed in on that passing lane real quick.
And then he'll pull up and hit calmly from 15 from the right elbow.
He's smooth. Can't let him get going if you're the Hawks.
He's the heir apparent at point guard for A.J. Green.
For sure. He's got all the tools.
10-10 ball game. It's been a good one so far. 37 seconds to play. Walter, a little shake and bake move, takes it inside. Tried to kick it back out to Ward. It's on the floor, picked up by Elijah. He got bumped and fouled. I think they got Dallas Bear on the foul. First on Bear, third on Cedar Falls. As the Tigers will go to the bench. They'll bring in their...
Yeah, they're going deeper than normally would.
Jake Peters is a 6'3" sophomore football and wide body.
He does have a frame on him, man.
Owen Denholm, a 5'11" senior, coming into the ball game for the Tigers as well. And
Carter Jewell.
yeah, and he was the one that lit it up in the Kennedy game at the end of the year.
Okay.
20 seconds to play. Cedar Falls going to go a little zone here. Walter out front. Ball handling down to 12. They got Burkle at the free throw line in the high post. Now they'll go with 7. Walter, stutter dribble. Walter driving right in the lane. Kick out to Taylor. A deep 3. Rimming, no. And that's it for the quarter. After 1 from Des Moines in this 4A quarterfinal. Cedar Rapids Prairie 10 and Cedar Falls 10. We'll take a break, come back with quarter number 2 after this on CRM Live Sports.
American Family Insurance agent Kurt Gustafson is committed to inspiring and protecting dreams right here in Cedar Rapids and the surrounding area. He starts by getting to know you and your needs and build a free auto, home, or life insurance quote. By bundling policies, we can often offer a variety of discounts. Whether you're purchasing a car, buying property, managing an investment property, starting a small business, or leaving behind a legacy, we've got your back as you pursue your dreams, and we'll help protect them. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. See Kurt Gustafson Insurance on Johnson Avenue Southwest, right across from the Johnson Avenue Hy-Vee for more details. First, and the hard work and dedication it takes for these students to succeed on the field or in the classroom. At First Federal Credit Union, every day to listen, solve problems, and are dedicated to finding ways to help you with your financial needs. From home loans to auto loans, checking, or even the best savings rates in town, goals. Learn more about First Federal Credit Union at firstfedcu.com, member NCUA.
Both teams shooting 4 of 10, 40% in that first quarter. 40% shooting, and we are tied at 10. Rebound advantage to Prairie. 7-4, both teams with a couple of turnovers here after the first quarter. Prairie, good defensive quarter right there. You take 10 and a quarter any day.
Absolutely. Like we mentioned at the top, keep this game in the 40s to 50s, and it bodes well for Prairie. They should be in the game and have a chance if that's the case.
Prairie.
Conversely, Cedar Falls did a nice job defensively as well, obviously.
They really
Holding
did.
the 10 as well.
They really did. Hawks breaking the huddle. Taylor, Cook, Walter, Gabe Burkle, and Deontay Fliss. Elijah Ward came in and gave Prairie a nice little lift, too.
It certainly did. Had that nice move along the baseline, that finish. Let's see if they go to Burkle here.
Tigers will have Woods. They're going to keep Peters in there. Bear, along with Campbell and Jewell for a young Tiger team. Except for Trey Campbell, all the firepower is back next year for Cedar Falls.
Yep, they should be good again next year for sure.
Yeah, and their sophomores, the only team that beat Kennedy's sophomore group this year.
Oh boy, and that was a talented Kennedy group.
Here is Taylor, left wing, starts to drive, hops back, gets it to Fliss, and the Hawks will reset. Looking at perimeter offense coming off the Burkle screen. Fumbled a moment by Cook. Got it to Taylor. Spins down the lane. Hangs, and they got it for a walk.
Yeah, I don't know if he shuffled him there. That was a close call.
It's not a shuffle if your name is Sanford or Lipsy.
Yeah, it's a play on. It's a nice move.
Hey, that all extends down to the high school level, too.
It does. It certainly does. Stars get the calls.
Bear sets a screen. Campbell behind the back dribble. Two-man game right there. They give it up to Jewell. He's a streaky three-point shooter, as we mentioned. Up top, they leave Woods open. Walter just playing off him, kind of helping the double. Here's Jewell for three, and he hits. And that's probably not a good sign.
Yeah. Looked very confident there. Knocking one down early, Carter Jewell.
He's got 12, and I swear I've seen 6 of them this year. Had, I believe, 5 in that Kennedy game. Bear had at 6 or 7. 13-10 lead for the Tigers. Cook up top. He'll try the three, no good. Burkle tries to one-hand the rebound. It's loose on the floor. Kicks it out to Fliss. He'll try the jumper and buries it from the left baseline.
That was all Gabe Burkle there, all heart, getting on the floor, digging out that rebound and kicking it to Fliss.
And Fliss had the shooter. It was going to be a 3-second violation.
Yep, he did.
So that's good awareness right there by Deontay Fliss, and they're going to get Peters on an illegal screen. And when you're that big, you're not going to hide it.
That is for sure. Corbett back into the game.
No, both of those guys are sophomores.
Be your front line next year for the Tigers.
13-12. Wagamester will walk it up for Prairie. Down by a point, 6:18 to play here in the first half. Got Northland and Remsen St. Mary's coming up tonight. That should be a dandy in 1A. Hook pass to the corner. Wagamester plays catch down with Cook. He'll drop it inside, and on the back is Corbett on the back of Burkle.
Definitely got him.
And that's 2 on him.
It's a tough matchup for him.
right back in comes Peters.
Cedar Falls may have to play some zone if they're going to play Corbott here the rest of the second quarter, but now they've got him out of the lineup so they can stay man-to-man.
Off the inbound, Fliss rises left of the lane and hits the jumper.
He's the ultimate glue guy for the Prairie Hawks. Deontay Fliss makes opportune baskets and is one of their better defenders.
Already over his average, 14-13. Campbell on the drive, picks it up, left free throw line extended. Hands it back to Bear, who's been very quiet here in this first half. Jewell curls free throw line, and there's a bump out front on Prairie before the shot. And it's going to go against Jack Wagamester. His first, team foul number 4. Fliss will check out for the Hawks. And Mikkel Taylor will come back in. And somebody's got to go out. Prairie's got 6 in there.
Can't play with 6.
No, you cannot. That was outlawed a few years ago. Jake Walter will take a seat. Jewell, drop it down low. Now Campbell's going to post up inside. He can do that at 6'4". Got doubled. Good help defense by Taylor. Campbell got it back, doubled again, and a foul. And that's going to go, I think, against Jack Wagamester.
Yep, they got Wagamester reaching in.
And that's 2 on him. Dad and coach did not like that. And Prairie did not get Wags out. Reed Burkle back in with 2. Bear is going to take him inside. Turnaround hook, left it short. Peters tipped it out. Campbell kept it alive for Cedar Falls. 14-13. Cook all over him, and there's a hand check out front.
Yeah.
That was 2 hands. Anytime you do that, you're going to get it.
Yeah. Blatantly obvious call there.
Here comes Walter back in for Jack Wagamester.
Eli Ward coming back in too for the Hawks.
And Braden Dirksen. As Eli's a crowd favorite.
He is. Popular kid on the Prairie campus.
14-13, 5:10 to play. Campbell off the high ball screen, almost lost it. Prairie doubling Campbell and Bear wherever they go, especially Campbell.
Yep, making it hard on both the stars for the Tigers.
Jewell to Campbell, bounce up top, driving right in the lane. Behind the back dribble, tried to step back, now a duck under, shot up, rimming no, but drew the foul on Elijah Ward.
Beautiful move, step through after the shot fake by Campbell.
First on Ward, that's team foul number 7. Going to be a couple of free throws for Trey Campbell when we return to Des Moines. 4:54 to play first half. Prairie 14, Cedar Falls 13. Right after this here on CRM Live Sports.
If you're serious about creating an eye-catching website or need assistance in graphic design for print, newsletters, posters, signs, or banners, Hunt Graphic Innovations has the experience to help get the job done. With personal attention and competitive pricing, discover the difference Hunt Graphic Innovations can make for you. End your search for your favorite restaurant in Cedar Rapids. Come to Emil's Hideaway. Emil's is the home for the best tasting American food around. Choose from your favorites: chicken, pasta dishes, pizzas, burgers, and fries. Whether you're bringing the whole family for a meal or wetting your whistle at our fully stocked bar, there's something to satisfy all ages and tastes at our classic American local restaurant. Need catering for your next party or event? Emil's has that too. Call them for details. Emil's Hideaway, open Monday through Saturday at 4 p.m., is right next to Home Depot and across from Lyndale Mall on 1st Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids.
Been a fun day of basketball here in 4A as we come back to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. Earlier on today, in case you missed it, the Kennedy Cougars have advanced 61-56 over Waukee Northwest. They will take on Ames. Ames beat Burlington 60-40. Taman Lipsey is the real deal.
He's a special talent. Got a Division I upperclassman build to him already. Super quick, crafty with the ball, shoot threes, get to the rim, pull-up game. He's a do-it-all, 3-level scorer.
And they got more than Lipsey.
They do. They got a lot of reinforcements. They're going to be tough to beat.
Luth and LeBeau, and good to see Steve McGraw on the bench.
Yeah, over there with LeBeau, enjoying his time in Ames with Coach Vance Downs.
14-13, Prairie with the lead, but Campbell in the line for a couple and hits the first. And Cedar Falls is 75%, Prairie 71% from the free throw line.
Like to see that.
Campbell got them both. He's an 85% foul shooter. And much like Waukee Northwest or Kennedy, it's very hard to come back against teams that shoot well from the free throw line. Prairie down one, 4:44 to play. Jake Walter coming off the ball screen. They reverse it to Ward, puts it on the floor. Thought about the jumper, turned it down. They play catch to Taylor on the perimeter. He'll bounce it down low. Burkle posting up, got doubled. Open man, Taylor, left wing, high arching three, and he hits.
Big shot by Mikkel Taylor. Thought about it for a second, kind of reluctantly shot it, but knocked it down.
He who hesitates wins.
Yeah.
17-15. Usually when you hesitate, it's not going to go in. On the handback, Peters gives it over to Woods. He'll leave him open. Doesn't take a lot of shots. Good defender. Campbell going one-on-one against Ward. They double him. Spins, puts it off the glass, no. And Peters got it away from Dirksen, but Braden got it back. Here comes Prairie. Walter on the run and charge against Jake Walter.
Tough one there. You could kind of see it coming when he hit half court. He was determined to get downhill, and defender for Cedar Falls did a nice job stepping in front of him.
Gabe Burkle, Deontay Fliss all back in for the Prairie Hawks. 17-50, we're over halfway here in the second quarter. As it'll be Campbell to bring it up. Elijah Ward going to pick him up, but they'll double him. Now Campbell in the stop and go, drops it down low on the bounce to Peters. Couple of head and shoulder fakes, no good. Rebound by Burkle. Walter on the run. In transition, stutter dribble. Try to look inside. Taylor over to Fliss in the far corner.
Little zone here from the Tigers, 2-3.
Yeah. Here's Walter. He'll shoot over it for three. Front iron, no, and Bear one-hands the rebound. Long arms for Dallas Bear.
He is definitely lengthy.
Here's Campbell. He'll pull up for the three and got it. You just can't give him any space.
So smooth. He never plays out of control. Really good-looking prospect for the UNI Panthers.
18-17, Tigers back up one. Taylor puts it on the floor. Starts to drive. Ward left of the key to Walter. Bounce to the baseline. High catch in the lane. Back to Walter. Open three-pointer. He got it.
Nice ball movement there. Prairie Hawks had a triangle on that side of the floor against the zone. Kicked it into the high post, back out to Walter for the three.
His first points, and it's a 20-18 Prairie lead. Bear drives, almost lost it. Now it's tipped away. Fliss comes away with it. Up the right sideline. Fliss all the way up, and he lays it up and in. A little scooper with the right hand.
Really tough. Nice finish by Fliss.
Prairie by 4. 22-18. As the Hawks with the lead. Campbell going to go crossover one-on-one. Jump stop in the lane. Out to Bear. Deep three, and he buried it.
All created by Campbell. Not sure you can double off of Bear.
22-21. You just can't leave those two guys.
No, those two guys you got to stick with.
2 minutes to play in a very entertaining first half here from Des Moines. Taylor back to Jake Walter. Takes it between the rings. Lob in the high post. Fliss finds Ward wide open in the near side corner, and Elijah Ward nails the three.
Big time shot by Elijah. Good to see him bounce back from the injury, playing well down here at the Wells Fargo Arena.
25-21, hurt that hand against City High late in the season. Peters sets a mean screen for Campbell, who hits the three.
That was a brick wall.
Wow.
Trey Campbell with the answer.
You could hear that from here and feel it. 25-23. And yes, Peters is a footballer for a very good Tiger football team. Two good football programs going out of here. Not bad in basketball either. Walter out front, stutter dribble, going to drive in the lane. Fliss back to Taylor. He'll penetrate. Taylor all the way in, trying to get it to Burkle and through his hands. Burkle turned to go rebound it, I think.
He did. He anticipated Taylor going up there for the layup.
5 turnovers now on the Prairie Hawks, as Everett Cook will come in for Eli Ward. Here comes Cedar Falls looking for the lead. 56 seconds to play in the opening half. We have the Bim Ritter Sportswear halftime show coming up at the break. Brost back into the lineup for the Tigers. Campbell has got Cook on him. Goes between the legs, behind the back with it. Peters trying to set the screen. Cook right there. There aren't many people pound for pound tougher than Everett Cook.
No, he is a terrific competitor.
And he can play the defense. 29 seconds to play. Brost will bring it back, and we might see Tigers go for one.
I think so at this stage.
25-23. Here's Campbell. Nope, pull-up is good.
Man, is he smooth.
He is tough. 17 for Trey Campbell of Prairie's 20, or Cedar Falls 25. Down to 6 seconds. Walter going to try to play beat the clock. Walter coming right with the starter dribble, trying to turn the corner, crossover, double pumper.
Got the foul.
And he got the foul on the three.
Yeah.
Ryan Schultz can't believe it, but man, if you're Campbell, how are you that close?
I know. Got bailed out, but he had to call it. There was contact.
So Trey Campbell gets the foul, and it will be 3 free throws coming up for the senior, Jake Walter. And he did get bailed out because he was in the air. He had to double pump it. And
did a nice job drawing the contact, though. You got to give him credit.
Well, there is 0.4 left. So Cedar Falls will put guys in the line, and Gabe Burkle's going to come down there and take up a spot or two. As it'll be Walter with 3 opportunities here. He's a good free throw shooter and connects in the first.
Pure on that one.
78% to be exact. And Prairie's going to lead at halftime unless something strange happens. Unless Chattanooga is in the house.
Right. Got the roll.
That was a heck of a finish to
Yeah,
that
it
game
was.
the other night.
It's been some really good games early on in the lower Division I conferences.
27-25 and make it 28-25. And that's it for the first half officially. Our score here at the halftime break from Des Moines, Cedar Rapids Prairie 28, Cedar Falls 25. We'll come back, talk halftime with you from
The Dental Center, with 2 convenient locations in Southeast Cedar Rapids on Mount Vernon Road and Hiawatha. Quality, comfortable care. At Hunt Graphic Innovations, it's the personal touch that counts. If you're serious about creating an eye-catching website or need assistance in graphic design for print, newsletters, posters, signs, or banners, Hunt Graphic Innovations done. With personal attention and competitive pricing, discover the difference Hunt Graphic Innovations can make for you. Bim Ritter Sportswear in Cedar Rapids is your complete apparel and headwear provider. Bim Ritter is your one-stop store for screen print and embroidery for polos, t-shirts, hats, and more for any age from newborn to adults. Need screen printing or embroidery for your company or a special event? Bim Ritter is the answer, as they work with local teams, clubs, organizations, and businesses from startup to finish to provide the look that you need with exceptional turnaround time. Bim Ritter is also the local apparel supplier for the Cedar Rapids Colonels and Rough Riders. Bim Ritter Sportswear, 817 2nd Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. Call them at 364-3479 and visit them online at bimritter.com.
Back with you in Des Moines at the Boys State Basketball Tournament. And at the halftime break, it is Cedar Rapids Prairie with the lead over the Cedar Falls Tigers. 28-25 by virtue of 3 Jake Walter free throws there at the end of the first half. Terrific defense by Prairie, but even with that, Trey Campbell can still get loose at times and create his own shot.
Yeah, from the games that I've seen this year, Campbell's awfully hard to take out of the game, and Barry can do a little bit of an easier job of that. Thought Prairie did an excellent job on him, limiting his opportunities. And, you know, you got to give Campbell credit for keeping him in, but overall, I think that's the kind of half, that's the kind of style of play, pace of play, physicality that Prairie wanted to come out with, and it's working to perfection right now.
Yeah, and doesn't hurt, you're shooting it well too.
Yeah, yeah. The support guys are shooting it well, and they're sagging off into the lane on them, and the Prairie perimeter shooters are making the Tigers pay for it.
Yeah, I would think Prairie might want to get Gabe a few more touches, though. He only has the 2 free throws so far in the first half, but as long as your perimeter game is going, everything's fine. But you're going to have to get him to the big guy.
Yeah, got to get him going, and I would think he would need to get into double figures somehow if Prairie's going to win this game, because they've, uncharacteristically, all of them have shot the 3 well there in the first half. Normally, it's only a couple guys that shoot it consistently.
Yeah, and Prairie getting good contributions off the bench as well. Scoring in the first half looks like this for Prairie. They're being led by Deontay Fliss at halftime. He had a good first half, offensively and defensively, as he's got a total of 8 points on 4 field goals. Jake Walter was 6, including the 3 free throws there at the end of the first half. He's also got a 3-pointer thrown in there as well. 5 points for Elijah Ward off the bench. He's got 2 field goals, including a 3-pointer. 3 for Mikkel Taylor. Gabe Burkle with 2. Jack Wagamaster with 2. And Reed Burkle with 2 for Prairie. For Cedar Falls, only 3 players have scored in the first half. Trey Campbell has 17 of the Tiger 25 points. 6 field goals, 3 threes, 3 twos, 2 out of 2 from the free throw line, and 17. Dallas Bear has 6 on 2 3-point goals, and Carter Jewell off the bench with a 3-pointer as well. Prairie has 5 turnovers, Cedar Falls with 4 turnovers, and right now the bench scoring is 10.